Welcome, welcome. If you are on the stream, I think it should start any second. Please start. Please. Yes, it's starting. Okay, I am live. All right, that's good news. Yes, I do not hate AI. Boom, look at this. You're not alone. 90% of game developers are using AI, professional game developers. And you know what? I'm a software engineer, okay? I work in the medical industry. We use AI every day to save lives. So when you're on the table in the hospital, dying, bleeding out, dying, there's AI behind that was programmed like a guy by me, potentially me, saving your life. Enjoy. So when people tell you, boo AI, oh, yucky AI, there are certainly bad uses of AI, but making fun games isn't one of them. Okay? So if you're a person who wants to like get all offended or whatever, go ahead and put it in the chat so I can ban your ass and we'll keep rolling without you. Okay? Now I'm not going to be on camera today. I didn't set up that, but I have a lot to show you. We're going to use both Godot and GameMaker. I will warn you, this is not a. I'm not going to teach you how to program. You have to know how to program to use these tools, and they will tremendously help you. And I'll show you how to use these tools, but I'm not going to teach you to program today. So, I think the audio is just a touch high, so I'm going to turn it down, probably because I'm screaming. Okay. So, I, as some of you know, have a game called Sonic Time Twisted. I have been adding features to it using agentic agents, Copilot. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. And we're also going to look at Godot and see how you can do the same. So, I actually have the Godot pulled up here because this works as such that we might actually be programming two things at once because this is a coding coding session for me, and I would code two things at once. So we'll continue with that. So I've got and in the process I'll show you how to use these tools a little bit too. So we've got I'm pulling up GameMaker here so that we have both GameMaker and Godot open. Now I'm going to use VS Code, and this is just Microsoft's free. Why is the icon's not showing there? But regardless, I can open it. And this is just Microsoft's free tool for. I need two windows. Free tool for coding, and it's a really good one. It's a professional grade one. A lot of developers use it. It's not a full IDE, but it has a lot of plugins and stuff. So we opened, there it is. So we opened No More Robots Godot, and now we're going to open Sonic Time Twisted YP, which, okay, that's, yeah. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do, now obviously I'm going to code in this instead of GameMaker's built-in, I hope I opened the right one. Instead of GameMaker's built-in scripting tools. But there are some plugins you kind of need. Well, yeah. So let's go to plugins here, extensions, I guess they call them. So I'm lost. Pilot instructions. Okay, this is GameMaker. So I have a few installed extensions here, and the ones you're going to need for GameMaker are this Copilot chat. This is the agentic AI we're using. And then you have this GameMaker GML syntax, IntelliSense, whatever. So these make it so that this makes it so that all the syntax is highlighted, so it can read GML, and you see how like all this is highlighted. The ifs are a color, the vars are a color, so on and so forth. So that's what gives you that syntax and stuff. And then the same is for Godot here. Godot, I don't know how you say it. I say Godot. And it's kind of the same idea. I'll just pull up some Godot code here. So this is an enemy. It's actually, this enemy actually has a bug. Maybe we'll fix it. And and you can see that all these are highlighted with Godot functionality. This is called GD script, if you're not familiar with Godot coding. And like I said, the other piece of this puzzle, is Copilot. So you can the first thing you might do is set up a set of Copilot instructions. And why is chat? Try again, buddy. Something weird is going on. Maybe I'm using an old version of Copilot. Maybe I have 2 installed versions. VS Code. Or maybe it's possible the plugin updated. And I need a new version now. We'll see. Complaining. It says chat failed to load because the installed version of Copilot chat is not. Okay, it fixed itself, whatever it was. But anyway, the first thing you might do, I gotta get the time twisted window back open here. First thing you might do is open your code here, and you might ask IntelliJ, IntelliJ is a program I use at work. You might ask your ChatGTP, could be ChatGTP, but your Copilot here to create a set of Copilot instructions. And what this instructions is going to do, it's going to load every time you make a chat prompt to Copilot. And what you'll see here is it's just a bunch of information about how Sonic Time Twisted was developed, what engine it uses, naming conventions for code, comment conventions, coding style, all these high level objects like the program, the game data, the level, and stuff like that. And just all this stuff that it's going to read into its memory that's going to help it make good decisions when it writes code. And so you'll generate one of these, and it'll take a little while. And while you're doing that, or before you do that, you're going to need to get a little bit familiar with this Copilot plugin here. You can see down here, it's got a little usage. I have the Copilot Pro subscription, I guess. It's a monthly subscription you have to get. I believe there's a free version. It's not going to work nearly as well, and I'll explain why. It's $40 a month, I think, for Copilot Pro. Copilot Pro. Okay, so I'll just quick show it here. See, there's a free version here, so you can test it out. It's not going to work with some of the optimal, you're going to have to use some of the weaker models, but so it won't work as well. But you can either do the Pro or the Pro Advanced to get the better version. Here you get 300 premium requests, and here I've never run out of requests before with this Pro $39 one, so that works pretty well. Okay, so you make your instructions. Again, it has all kinds of detail, input detail, enemy detail, all kinds of stuff. And you can add to this at any point if you find that it's not, common pitfalls. You can add more detail to this or prompt it to add more detail to your Copilot instructions. If you find it's constantly making the same mistake, then you could say, hey, put in your Copilot instructions not to make that mistake or something like that, basically. Let's go ahead and let's finish with this plugin real quick. So these are the previous chat sessions I've had with it. We worked on a 2-player mode, which is working pretty well, but we still have a couple errors we can fix there. And then down here, there's a couple different options. You have agent mode and ask mode and plan mode. And ask mode is a question mode. This is like talking to ChatGTP in your browser. It just answers your questions. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't modify any code or anything like that. Then you have agent mode, which is what I use most of the time. and it will modify your code as you ask it to change things and such. Um, hey, hey, I'm terrible with names, but Olivia, I believe. Olivia Neto, I believe. Um, uh, Thanks for stopping by. So anyway, I have this, but then the other one is plan. We'll mostly use agenic or agent, um, but you also have plan. So if you have like a complex feature you want it to plan out in advance, like let's say you wanted to add tails to a Sonic engine that didn't have tails, you wanted to add a tails follow. I just did this to Time Twist the other day. It's not perfect yet, but it's pretty close. um, you could ask for a plan on how it might do that, and then you could read through all the coding steps it plans on taking. I don't really use that because agent mode can just do it, and you can ask it for a plan beforehand. Um, but it's there if you want it, if you find it helpful. That's pretty much all I use. There are a bunch of options, like different tools it can access and stuff. It has access to command line, like if you were doing some other type of development, you might want access to command line, but it's really not necessary for what we're doing. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll now show you where we are with this multiplayer Tails mode, and we'll see about finishing it up real quick, assuming it's not finished, because I actually haven't tested it since the last prompt. Hey, Matthew Gaming, how's it going? Thanks for showing up. Yeah, we're going over how to code the right way with AI chat, or agenic models, I guess is what they're called, or agents, AI agents. Pretty cool stuff. So this could take a little while because it's got to build the whole program the first time it runs, I believe. Maybe it'll go quick. But the next thing, we have to decide what we're going to do with No More Robots. So I'll show you what I have been working on real quick. So there's this, I was using a, well, we'll do this. We'll come back to that. Oh, that's at least for me. So there are a couple bugs. Whoa. Okay, that's probably my I've never tried to use a. I need a Xbox controller, not a Nintendo controller, because there's could be some bugs with Steam and everything. I never tried that controller with this, but we'll use the Xbox controller. That should work just fine. You know how compatibility is with them. I might need to reset this though. That might be how the. Yeah, it might have just crashed on me too. It's always a distinct possibility. Well, that's not. Okay, I just took it a minute to read it. Okay, so now I got this controller here. I'll show you what I did. So you got input here, and you got gamepad, and now you have this menu where you can select, which player, and you can select the device here. And I have this one here. I can actually plug in a second controller. Actually, I can't because I don't have enough USB ports. But if I could, you would see that there was a second controller attached, and then you can go, a map to player 2 as well. Okay, so I need to do the same for keyboard, and I did. And you can see here we have Tails working on the numpads. I think I'm going to change this first of all, and we're going to test whether this feature works in game. So we'll make, can I just remap all? And backwards, but oh well. Okay, That should work. Okay. So now the key is so what I was having trouble with was Tails was not working specifically with the keyboard controls. And now we will go ahead and test whether this works or not. Okay. So I got Sonic here. I haven't added Tails to the Tails follow to the menu yet, but you can see Tails is there. And it is a prototype, of course. So Tails is there. Let's see if he moves. He does not move. Why not? Makes no sense. He should move. We mapped the controller. Okay, so now we know this isn't working. Let's close this in. All right. So we'll look at Time Twisted here. Here's our keyboard session. This is where we left off. Here's all the things I was talking about. And I'm simply going to say to it, I'm going to say, hey, you dummy. The keyboard controls for Tails are still not working. Please I can't spell. Thoroughly, that's not how you spell thoroughly at all. Thoroughly check the freaking settings and the player to object. Figure out what's wrong with this thing. And then a bunch of exclamation points. Very technical. Okay. Now let's see how that goes. All right. So now I'm going to switch back to No More Robots. And we're going to... Well, I was going to show you what I was working on. Okay. So I have No More Robots here. And I was just using this basic camera. Oh, yeah, I know what I was working on. Here. And I have it disabled now. I installed this asset. I installed this asset. Well, I'll just find it. Phantom. Okay. I installed this Phantom camera. And it's like a really fully featured camera that has like boundaries and different things. I don't know. It's better than what I had, which is just a basic camera. And so I took so I went into so once I installed it, I went into wrong window. My co-pilot here, and I'll back. No, that was probably the right chat. You can see review Phantom camera integration project. So this is where I was working with Phantom on this, and we'll go through what happened here, this whole conversation real quick, and then we can look at Time Twisted again. So I said, so I added Phantom camera to the project. Can you review it and advise with a plan of best how to implement this, given our current camera setup, basically. Paraphrasing, but you get the idea. So it spent some time looking at like what the camera was and like you know what Phantom camera gave us and stuff, and it just it spit out some ideas about how it might like refactor the camera to use Phantom and so on and so forth. And then it gave me a little like phase 1 only, this is how I do it, and everything is above. And I asked it, you know, just from a judgment standpoint, does it think it's a good idea to add camera, add this camera? And honestly, and it said no, right? Like it was like, don't integrate it yet. I was like, well, I don't know about that. Can't trust AI, right? Like, and it said, well, I want the characters to have a small area to move before the camera shifts. I also want to limit the camera vertically and horizontally with barriers of some kind. So then it was like, well, yeah, okay, maybe you should do that. But it started to go too far, so I got really angry at it. And we might see some F-bombs in here because I frequently curse at these things, just warning you. So I didn't like what it was doing, so I stopped it because I pressed the stop button here. And I was like, what are you doing? I'm asking if Phantom camera is good for this stuff. And it's like, oh, I was jumping ahead, right? Like, so then it told me, and it was like, yeah, that's good. And I was like, all right, let's bring it in. So it spent, I don't know how long it took, maybe a couple minutes. And I should preface, I mostly use, they changed this. Oh, they updated the plugin, I guess, since last night when I since this morning. That's crazy. This shit moves fast. But I pretty much alternate between using excuse me, burping. Sonnet 4.6 and Opus 4.6. You can see this costs 3x as much, so you don't want to use Opus unless you have to. And there are even cheaper models than this, like Haiku, which can get you some decent results. And if you're doing green development, some of these GPT ones might work. I haven't messed with them too much because I've had better success with the Claude models. But yeah, so I'm like switching between different models here, asking it questions, and now I'm telling it to bring it in. And I'm pretty sure I used Opus, even though it cost 3 times more to do this because it was a fairly complex ask. I was asking it to replace an entire controller or an entire camera system in the game, right? So like that's kind of complicated. Um, yeah, you should play Time Twisted again, Matt. Yeah, Matthew. All right. Anyway, let's continue. Um, so it did all this. It thought for a while, and it came back, and you can see. Yes, I did use Claude Opus, and you can see it came back, and it was not working. And I told it basically like, hey, I can see the background. I can't see anything else. What is going on? Try again. Basically, it's basically the point of that. And at that point, it got pretty close. But I had this weird rendering where it would render on 2 different layers in the old camera, so it didn't capture that when it built the new camera. So it was like the player was invisible. And so I reminded it of that, and it kind of outlined how all that worked. And then it was, and then at this point, it was working, and I started working on implementing barriers to to the to the level so that like you can't go outside the barriers. And I can show you this camera real quick. And then we'll get back to Time Twisted and see if that did that thing. I'm still figuring out how to get the background. Hmm. Ouch. Uh, um, yeah, so I mean, this is the camera, and the level, of course, goes back a lot further than here. And it stops there. I need to add some kind of like boundary so that the player stops too. So we'll have to work on that at some point. Oops, I'm dead. Oh well. All right, that's that. Back to Time Twisted. All right, so this is what happens. So we're using the external editor for this, and it actually will edit. It won't just edit code files; it'll edit like the configuration files. Let's look at what it did actually. So if we look here, it tried to look. It did a bunch of brainstorming, blah 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 blah. Trying to get through all the BS here. Let's look at what it did. So you can pop this open. You can see here. This is what I'm talking about, though. Oh no, it's not. But you can see it changes for GML files, and then it can change like the room files even if you ask it to, like add up something to a room. Anyway, so these are the changes it made. And this looks like it did something with the restore. And we'll see. Looks like it did a bunch of. It removed some gamepad stuff and added some different stuff. This might not all be necessary, but let's see if it works. All right, we'll see if it works. And like I was saying, you can edit other things. So here it edited the object itself, and it's GameMaker's warning me that something outside of this application edited that object, so I have to reload it. So I did that, and now I'm going to run the game and see if it fixed the issue. Yes, sir, Bob. And it shouldn't take long, otherwise I'd go back to whatever it is. No more robots. And so actually we were adding the background to No More Robots, so let's go ahead and get a prompting for that. Where blah, 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 where did I leave this? Way down here. You can see it. We were troubleshooting some things. Time twisted this up, so that's good. I'll just tell it. Try the option you think is best. No. That's gonna try to fix my camera or my background issue with my parallax background not showing on my 3D camera for No More Robots, so we'll let that run. Oh yeah. Okay. So we'll see if this works. So we'll see if this works. And I don't know what the controls will be for Tails. Oh my god. So much for that. Not a great example, I guess, right? Like, but like if you think about it, like this whole Tails thing was made by the AI, and I can show you too already. So it's already a pretty good example, even though we're having trouble with this. Okay, so we've got OLK. Still not working. All right, we'll try one more time. But what I'm going to change here, if I look here, and is I'm going to set this to Opus. It's still not working. I should make. Let me check something though. I want to check if it works with the gamepad because that'll help narrow it down. How much information you give it is kind of like how much it gets out of it, or at least it directly impacts. And I will say too, like notice I'm not even paying attention to the code I'm writing too much, and that's because code is malleable. Like once you get the logic down, like once the logic is in place and the computer understands how the logic should be, you can refactor that logic any way you like a lot easier than trying to keep it all organized in a way you like while trying to get it to understand the logic. So I'm actually going to reassign the gamepad player 2. So now I'm in here, and I can't control the gamepad because this is player 1. So I gotta back out of here. B. So if I look at player 1 now, I should see. I'm getting lost in my own menus. Player 1 device. Okay. Yeah, you can see it's hooked up to player 2 now. Okay, so player 1's keyboard, player 2 is. Just enter the game again here. Yo, dream never stops. I love the name. It's a good name. Okay, so now. Oh, this is not good. Somewhere I broke the Tails because the Tails was working, and it might have been that last prompt. That's what I was worried about. So I was worried that this last prompt, or maybe a couple prompts, actually broke it rather than fixed it. So let's undo that one. And we'll run it again to just, yes. to see if we got it working again. Otherwise, we'll have to take a couple steps back. I should have tested that with the gamepad before. Here is no more robots. It's still thinking. You can see it's working here. It's working through all this logic here, trying to figure out how to get that done. So we'll just leave that and let it do its thing. And this is why you can work on two things at once. Does Amy exist in the game? So there's a well, not right now, no. But there's a mod for it that I'm forgetting the guy's name. I should remember his name because he's in the chat all the time. But there's a mod for it. The Edge, that's his name. The Edge made a mod for it, and I'm probably going to add that mod into this game properly. So that'll be fun. Yeah, we'll go ahead. You can kind of see No More Robots is doing some things in the background as well still. Okay, so I'm back. We're back here. And there's Tails. He's following me. Of course, I lost him now. But he'll come back. Alright, there you are, buddy. I think he's still got the water physics. I'll have to make sure to reset the water physics. That's funny. That'll be a prompt we can add to. But let's test. So I need to get us back to a place where we had the inputs working for player 2. All right. Player 2 here. That player 2. All right. So let's see. Still no. Well, that's no good. We go back to a place at work then. All right. Let's see. There's me dropping F-bombs. But somewhere up here. Well, we may have to go back a little bit. Where is the guy in the play? Okay. So I'm gonna try to roll back. Restore checkpoint. So you got these. Actually, it had an error there, so I had another error. Let's restore issue here and see if we have the. You can see here it and revise those files. And so we'll run this again and we'll see if that fixed the issue because we need to get back to a clean place. And in the process, we'll check what this is doing. Okay, so this is saying to fix it. Let's look at the background, blah, blah, blah. Script now tracks the camera's 3D X and Y perfect. And offsets based on that. That sounds like what I want. So we're going to go ahead and try this now. It's still not there, but it might just be because I turned it off. Or wherever. Or what's it called? Called Now I'm getting lost. Wrong one. It is called. Just looking for the name of the There it is. Background name. I couldn't remember it. Okay, so let's quick search for this. Did you delete it? And didn't add it back. Oh, that's great. Hmm. Right, but it may. I don't remember where I put that thing. This is why it's important to back step up too. Should be here. I don't remember where I put it. Scenes, objects, no Mobius, not that. Can be under textures, sprites, no. Should be in scene. Maybe it deleted it. There's okay. This is probably where it would be. Ah, okay. Here's the background. I guess I took the two off. That's probably why I didn't see it because it took the two off for some reason. Oh, oh, there it is. Why isn't it filtered with the two? That's weird. But it's not visible, or is it? And did you lose all your? It might have lost all its. No, its texture's still there. So why am I not seeing it? Why can't I? I need to see it without the filter. It did it tell me where it reparented it in here? This is stupid. What is it? Get out of here. I mean, it rewrote that. That makes sense. It rewrote it to, rather than map to the player, it maps to the camera, which is much better. Before, the player position and the camera position were essentially the same thing as far as that concerns. But I don't know where, like, it put it, it's in here somewhere. I can't find the stupid thing. I don't understand why it doesn't. Okay, if I've got it selected, right? This is levels of dumb. Oh, what? Where is it? Saying even like this is just like I just can't find it. But I know it's in here because I seen it with my own two eyeballs. Its parent is probably just turned off or something, but I cannot find it. This is ridiculous. How do I find this? What is this parented to? Joe? There's the player, but does it show? Why can I not find this thing in here? That's so crazy. So here's the game node. Everything is expanded, and it's like, but I know it's in here because I can filter for. F. Let's try F. Or is it? No, it is in here. Well, see, it's hidden because it's inside of something that's hidden. But I don't know what it's in. Okay. Simple solution. What is the parent of? I lost the name. Rename. No, what the? All right. Far site fields background. It's the parent of far site field background 2. And I do not want to use Opus for that because that would be 3 times as expensive. Or at least cost me 3 times as many tokens. Okay. So let's go ahead and Tails is here. It is. Yes, Tails. He's got the water physics input. Gamepad. Player 2 device. Now it's on player 2. Okay, so we gotten this back to a place where Tails is actually working. And again, this was all AI. Let's see if we can't quickly fix the water physics though that Tails has before we move back to the keyboard issue. Okay, so back in here in we'll keep everything as we have it. And we'll say do I want to do this in here? I'll do this in a new conversation actually. We'll start over with the keyboard stuff if we need to. Tails, when or how do I say this? Player 2 / Tails sometimes goes off screen and then his water values aren't reset. And so when he reappears next to Sonic, he has water physics instead of normal physics, I'll call it. There should be a physics flag or something, probably. This means reset. And that's the kind of one I could find myself too, but you know. Okay. So this tells us that its parent is camera 3D. I swear I looked there. It still is there. What the heck? Okay. So, and that makes sense because it makes sense why we can't see it because its parent is invisible. So if I just, can I just move this? Like, I might undo that. And we'll see what happens. Okay. The it looks like, is it backwards? Like I'm trying to, I think it's backwards, right? And then like I wasn't, it shouldn't have so much shouldn't have so much vertical movement. So let's look at this thing here. Um so I reparented the background far sight fields background to be outside of the camera since we're now using the new Phantom camera. And but the parallax for the background almost looks reversed, and there is too much movement vertically. Please investigate. Hopefully that works. And we'll stay on Claude Sonnet. I don't think it's an Opus problem yet. And we'll see how that goes. And now we'll flip back to here. And this is still working on it, so we'll have to give it time. Never calls reset physics. See? Figuring it out. It seems reasonable. And I don't even remember any of this stuff because like it's been years and years since I programmed Time Twisted. That's what's so helpful about having the AI. It looks like it did its thing, so now we can retest this. It had to fix a few things, right? So we'll reload and we'll fire the old game off. I don't know how long I'll do this today. I mainly wanted to show you guys how you could use chatbots to develop features for your games. And I think I've accomplished that. But we'll keep going for a little while. Okay. Oh, it's still quick. 1 second here. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get Tails to go off the screen. Heard the splash. He's back. He doesn't have water physics. Cool. So let's go ahead and see what they changed. We already kind of saw it, but we'll go ahead and take a look. So you're going to see your changes in these little menus here, and you can keep them or remove them, and they get highlighted, right? Any thing it removes will be red, and anything it keeps will be, or generated will be green. And you can keep all the files like this, like by pressing that button, or you can come in and keep specific changes it made too. And I already showed you how we can like roll back changes, right? Like we we rolled back to make sure because it actually broke the Tails implementation, right? With the gamepad, so we had to fix that by rolling back, and then we got the air thing going. Let's actually take a look here at where we're at with I shouldn't have closed that. But let's actually take a look at where we're at with at the gamepad code. And while we're waiting, we can look at sorry, no more robots here. Okay, so it did whatever it was going to do. Got it. Blah blah blah. Wrong position source. Vertical over scroll. Sounds reasonable. Let's see what it is. There's no reason to like figure out what the code is if it doesn't even work, right? Like we may as well just see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then we can figure out what it did and how we might advise it to do better. That's looking right? I think it is. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm hiding a lot in this, so I don't want to play it. Get out of here. Okay. So what have we done so far? All right. So let's think about this for a second. We've been here 51 minutes. We've corrected an issue with, well, aside from even setting everything up and explaining everything, we've already corrected an issue with this background. We couldn't even find the stupid background, so we had to ask GPT, or not GPT, Copilot where it was. Then we had some trouble. Well, granted, we had some trouble with our keyboard implementation with Tails, which, excuse me, we're still working through. But we were able to solve. But we were able to restore the working version of the gamepad, which I mind you was all generated with AI code, and we were able to have it reset the game physics. So to fix the Tails having underwater physics after falling off the screen, right? So that's pretty good. Do we still have, I'm not sure how far we reset it, so I don't know if okay, so we didn't lose our screen, our screen for choosing player. And in fact, we didn't even lose the mapping, which is great. We didn't really lose anything. That's great. So we fixed 2 bugs so far in 51 minutes, less than 51 minutes. And we fixed 2 bugs so far in 2 separate games, working at the exact same time in less than 50 minutes, okay? I want you to think about that. All right. Sometimes I spend 4 hours on a single bug, right? Like, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Like, this is good stuff. All right. So, I don't think I want to continue that keyboard stuff. Number one, it's kind of boring. And number two, I might actually need a little bit of help with that. So, instead, we're going to look at issues on Time Twisted's GitHub page, and we're going to try to implement one. GitHub Sonic Time Twisted 2.0 version. All right, here we go, boys and gals. All right, 66 issues. Holy smoke-a-rollies. Gotta find a good one here. Amy Rose. Somebody was asking about Amy Rose. Okay, so we need Amy Rose. I told you there is a mod for this. I believe it's the old version of Time Twisted. But I'm going to show you some real magic right now, boys and girls. Hopefully. Otherwise, I might fall flat on my face. Okay. So now we've got this sweet Amy Rose plugin. Or sorry, Amy Rose sprite. All right. They're all named Sonic. That's not good. So we're going to try to implement this Amy into Time Twisted 2.0. What do you guys think about that? How does that sound? Do you think we can get it done in like 20 minutes? What do you think of that idea? All right. Let's see here what we can do. We don't want to ask the AI to do too much at once. So we're going to. Do I have Copilot command line on here? Let's find out. I don't know if I have Copilot command line on this computer. I might just have it on the plugin, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's not really unfortunate. I'll fix it. Okay, I don't have Copilot on this computer on the command line. That's fine. Instead, what I can do is extract all. Extract Amy to a spot. And normally I would use command line for something like this, but since I apparently don't have Copilot command line on this computer, we're going to have to get a new window. We'll have to do it in here, which is fine. I'll show you how to do it. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about renaming sprites at the moment. Well, it'll be more than that, but so hilariously, I opened. Yeah, sure, trust this. I opened the Amy sprite here in a folder in VS Code, and like I said, I'd usually do this with command line. But we want to do something real quick, and there's more than you can do this with a Bash script too. But a simple way, and I probably don't even need that level of a model, so I'll just select auto, and I'll say so I have all these sprites, and they say SPR Sonic. I want them to start with SPR Amy. Oh, SPR Amy instead. And now we'll see what happens. Please fix. Damn it. Let it know we're not playing games, you know? And we'll see what happens. Do 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 do, and I'll serenade you. Oh my god, hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Not complicated. Wonder what it's gonna do. Because it could do a number of things. It could try to make a Bash script. It could try to make a Node script. It could try to make a Python script. It might try to just use command line and do it manually. Are you really gonna? It's thinking about doing Python. I'll be right back. I'm actually kind of shocked it's taking this long, but let's just let it do its thing. I'm curious what it does. And we'll go back to no more robots here, and we're gonna keep all these changes because we were happy with them. Um, and uh, what I want to do next here is so when we go out of the camera area, I want it to stop the player. So you can see here, now I can jump out of bounds, but I want it to stop player, right? So we're gonna ask for that to happen here. All right. So I actually built most of this game with a Copilot, by the way. So like this came into a majorly developed project already. Anyway, so this I probably I'll start a new. Do I want a new conversation? I think so. Okay, so you know how we have boundaries in our Phantom camera. You also know how the player has collisions below, above, and horizontal, right? This is a little bit I want to make sure it understands how to approach this. So I'm telling it about the project. I'm telling it that my player has some collision functions methods. I'll show you them real quick. So in here, if I scroll down, there'll be a bunch of. This is essentially a Sonic engine, by the way. So it actually can go like rotate all the way around and stuff like Sonic. Oh yeah, it's in physics. It's in player physics, not player. Oh. So there's the horizontal collisions. These are all done with raycasts. And there's the above and the below. And so now it's like, yeah, I know all about this shit. What do you want from me, bro? Okay. Now we're gonna say I want the boundaries of a phantom camera to work like walls, ceilings, and floors. Please do. And this is probably good for that. So we'll just go ahead. Okay, now we'll let that think on its thing, and we'll see what's going on with Amy here. Oh my god. Oh, okay, this is actually good. See what it's doing here? So it finally, that took forever, but it's going to run. It's like, I want to run this command, and it's basically going to find all these Sonic sprites, and then it's going to try to rename them with Sprite Amy. So we'll just let it do that. And I should be able to pop up the console here and see what it's doing. I thought. Huh. Usually it pops up here and it kind of like shows you like what commands it's running and you can like edit it and stuff. But for whatever reason, it didn't. It's still sort of working. I mean, it did the thing. You can see all these are Amy now. The heck is all this? It's trying to do it again now. It's like it doesn't think it succeeded, but it did. Sometimes it like can't read the output. That's one of the that's why the Copilot on the console is a little bit better. Sometimes like these plugins like they have trouble like reading the contents of like the terminals they're running and stuff. But that really doesn't happen when you're using it in a PowerShell. And you don't have to, and then it's not like locked to a specific project that can have access to your whole machine and whatever you give it access to. So we've got these sprites now. Great. And I'll just add them to good old GameMaker, however you do that. I actually don't know how to use GameMaker, believe it or not, because I haven't used it in freaking like it looked all different. I haven't used it many versions now. But I believe okay, so here's sprites. Here we are with sprites, and we're bobbing and weaving and rolling and a chugging. We're gonna add the player, but where's the player sprite? I feel dumb. I guess it's scene objects. Okay. Okay. And there's players. Yeah, players. There's no. Okay. So now we'll create a new folder here, right? You can do that. How do you? How do you create a folder? Where's a folder? I'm gonna lose my mind. Create group. Is a group a folder? I guess a group is a folder. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. I think I've done it. Now, can I just drag them all in here? I'm doing it. Told you guys I was a GameMaker pro. And you all doubted me. Why is it crashing? Maybe it's just thinking, maybe it's like, oh my gosh, you gave me a ton of images. So we'll just let it think. And we'll move on to other things like shutting down this Amy sprite project we don't need anymore. All right. So we wanted to keep that because that was the thing. Okay, so yeah, this is player CPU flyback. Okay, so keep that to make that underwater fix happen. And we'll start a new chat here, and we'll say something like, I want to add a new player character to the game. Show me a plan how to do that. Remember, you can make them the starting player character for the moment. We'll worry about adding them as a selectable character to the save screen later. So it's not like getting too confused about what it's doing. Like, because if it's got to do the save screen and it's got to do like all the character stuff, like it's probably gonna run out of tokens, right? Like these things, they only have so many tokens. Because if you don't know what an AI is, I will tell you, it is a yes. I was looking for somebody to got a an AI shit poster. That's great. I'm gonna ban this person. Good luck, Lexi. Hope you uninstall your browser, your Discord, YouTube, 90% of the games you play, because guess what? 90% of game developers are using AI. Oh, AI sludge. I'm a big keyboard warrior. Well, guess what? See you later. Hide user from channel. That sounds good to me. All right. All right. 90% of the game developers are using this already. If you want to shit on me for developing games with AI, you better stop playing any video game that came out in the last 5 years. Okay, where were we? Important things, actual work. Like you can sit online and complain, or you can like do shit. Holy. Not that there isn't plenty to complain about. Hashtag free pal of my. Okay. All right, I want to add a new player character to the game. Show me a plan how to do that. You can make the starting player character for the moment. You can make them the starting player character for a moment. and we'll worry about the selection screen later. Okay, is there anything I need? Oh, okay, well, yeah, I know. The The new player character is Amy. Hey, Alex. Sorry, I know I'm terrible. Thanks for coming though. Okay, let's see. The new player character is Amy. Can you create a plan for this, please? And I'm gonna tell it okay, now I'm gonna teach you guys a little something. Maybe an MD file. So these agents, they really like to make MD files, and I'm gonna use Opus for this because this is a pretty complex task I'm asking it to do. But they like to make these MD files, and I probably have some in here, I would think. Maybe I can search for some. Yeah, Alex. So far we fixed a background bug. So in 50 minutes we fixed a background bug with less than 15 minutes actually. We fixed a background bug with No More Robots, my game, and then we fixed a drowning bug with Tails, and we also had to roll back some code because we were trying to fix a keyboard input issue with the player 2. So basically, like in like probably about 40 minutes, we fixed 2 bugs and kind of crashed out on the last one. But that's not too bad, I don't think. Anyway. So I guess all I have in here is the Copilot instructions. That's weird. Usually it likes to make some. But I asked it to make MD here, so it probably will. And I have other MDs I can show you, but they're in here instead. They're in my No More Robots project. Let's see. See, here's one, beta testing instructions. So I had it generate some beta testing instructions for a friend. And there's a bunch of other things, like it'll often make you MDs like input improvements. I asked it to like go through input improvements, and like this is a bunch of input improvements that we worked on together. Like here I was saying, I don't know, there are just a bunch of them here, like press star is empty, that one I know about. There was some dead code, or what's this, the priority is priority of the button was undocumented. So I don't even remember what all these are, to be honest. There was a problem with access, but yeah, I had written a prompt for it to go through and scan all this stuff, and you can see just tons and tons of like documentation. This is a lot of how it like keeps track of things and stuff. And you can always ask it for an MD file, and it'll create something like this, and it can kind of help you, especially if you run out of tokens, because something I'll show you here is when you talk too much to these things, they start to lose their functionality. Like, not too bad, but like, oh, I don't have an option. There'll be like this little thing in the corner here, and it'll start to turn yellow and red. And what it's telling you is there's too much language, or it's got too much input, and so the model might be breaking down because it's got too much input. And so when that happens, like, then you can say something like, hey, write me an MD file for where we're at to pick up. And then you can start a new conversation and like feed it the MD file, and then it can keep going. You can see this one's going to take a while. It's really thinking about all this Tails BS. Okay. So where were we with No More Robots here? Okay, we were doing the clamped walls, and it looks like it tried to do them. Let's see what it did. Okay, it edited apply bound limits. Okay, where did it add this? And you can see it removed nothing, but it apparently it removed a blank line, so it's showing that there. But what method was this in? This is in the air movement. That seems reasonable. And did it make another similar change in the... Okay, so then it wrote this method, and that seems reasonable. So we'll go ahead and try this out, right? How much of this code is generated with AI? So that's a good question. Yeah, let me show you something. Swample, 90% of game developers already using AI in their workflows, according to new Google research. You know what that means? That means the phone you're on or your computer you're on was developed with AI. That means that the browser you're on developed with AI. That means that YouTube, what you're typing in right now, developed with AI. That means that 90% of the games you play developed with AI. You can make a stand and like whatever you want to do, you can keyboard warrior, whatever. Like, I'm just trying to make cool games and shit. Okay? Sorry if your butt hurt about it. Ooh, gunshots. Somebody got shot. And I think it was Relic. Anyway, let's I think that was already working. Yeah, it's already working. So there we go. Another fix. Actually, if I can find, I don't think there are any, no, there are no death pits in this level, and I really don't want to show you the rest of this because I'm hiding stuff in here, but it appears to have worked. So that's awesome. And we'll keep these changes and we're good there. Okay. So how long have we been going now? Let's recap. We're an hour and 16 minutes into the stream. We've fixed 3 bugs and identified a 4th one, and now we're working on a 5th one. Okay? I used to spend all day on 1 bug. Okay. Ew, AI. I'm angry. Oh my God. Baby. I literally, I work in an industry. We use AI every day to save lives, okay? When you're bleeding out on an operating table, when you're dying on an operating table, I work in the medical industry. We use AI to get doctors information faster so they can save your lives. Sorry. Holy smokes. You can see this is a trigger for me. It doesn't mean using AI is good. Well, you know what's great? The ban button. How about that? I love the ban button. Sayonara. Hide user from channel. Okay. So, where are we going? Let's check on good old Amy Rose. She ended up loading in so crazy. We loaded these sprites, we changed their names, we loaded them to the game, we wrote some code for No More Robots. We wrote it for okay. It's awesome. Yeah. I love the ban button. I hope there are people going crazy. Oh, we should check. I wonder if there's like some angry person in the time or in my nope, not. Oh, maybe. 2 days before Overbound showed that it uses it. I'm an it. That it uses AI. I'm forcing myself to believe AI is that it's using AI consciously. That's funny. Well, I saved some lives if that makes you feel better. I mean, I don't want to overplay it, but literally, the software that we're developing with AI, it gets doctors information on what's wrong with you faster, okay? And then they can save your life. We have studied this. We have proof of this. All right, whatever. We're waiting on Tails still. This is going to be a little bit longer of a session for that one. So we'll have to go back to No More Robots. And the reason why I was kind of stalling on that is I'm not actually sure what I want to do next. That's the tricky part. That's hilarious. 5 code my scale. I actually have been losing a lot of weight and boxing a lot. VR boxing. It's a really good workout. Oh. But what do I want to put into No More Robots? See, that's the thing about making like Sonic games is like you always know what's next, right? Like then when you're making your own games, you have to like come up with it all in your head, and like it's like harder and stuff. What else do I want to add here? Show up in the special. Okay. No, I don't know. I don't know what I want to add next. I'm trying to think. Like sound effects and stuff. I actually want to like build out this level now. Ooh, that was weird. He should have died. That was a bug. Should have died because he went to 0 health, right? It might have been that I canceled out of it. I wonder if I accidentally broke the death because I made it so you can cancel out of a hit like that. See that? But I wonder if I broke the death. Can I cancel out of a death? No. Well, I guess we can ask about that. Like, I don't know why that's happening. We can ask it. Let's see. Oh, look, Amy finished. So we'll start on this real quick. And we can do this in a new chat. For some reason, I was able to hit a sword rog and get hurt down to 0 health, but I did not die. Let me see here. So I will tell you, y'all too. This is how professional developers develop now. Like I said, I'm a professional developer. I know a lot of professional developers. This is what we're doing. Stop using AI. Oh my god. Like, yeah. Used to be my hero. Oh, so sad. Oh, boo-hoo. So sad. Used to be my hero. Makes one little decision I don't agree with, and fuck off that guy. Yeah, see, people like that, they don't make good friends, and they're losers, and they're trash people. See you later. Gotta ban them again. I accidentally deleted the message. Wait. Here I am trying to help people, minding my own business. Hide user on channel. Sayonara. But people just gotta have their way, you know. God forbid anybody have an opinion that's different than theirs. Okay, so I was going to test this. This is running slow now because I've got so much running, but that's okay. So I need to find a sortie rog. And you know what? If you really need a hero, you can have me as your hero if you want. But the thing is, you should probably just get over shit. And then I'll be cool with you again. But until then, I really don't give a shit. Okay, so it's only happening sometimes. Okay, so that's a key piece of information. I was trying to figure out if it happened all the times with the sword rog or just sometimes. So now we can give that piece of information to the AI and hopefully help it with the logic a little bit. For some reason, I was able to get hit, I should say. Get hit from a sword rog and player was hurt down to 0 health, but it did not die. It does not happen all the time. Can you please look for edge cases? And I'm going to swear at this thing because there's literally research that says that that helps. Look fucking deep. This isn't going to be fucking easy. Okay. Let me read the chat. Just say I suck at coding. That's hilarious. I've been coding for 20 years. But yeah, you're right. Like I'm as good as I'm gonna get at coding, and that's that. But literally, like I know hundreds of software engineers professionally. They all use AI. Like let's look here. Do we have any data to back this up? Oh my God. You hate 90% of people. Congratulations. Dumb. 90% of game developers you hate. Or just me, which makes no sense since I'm just one of 90%. It's so stupid. I hope you don't play any video games tonight. Yeah, it's dumb. What do you do? I knew this would happen. Like if I like literally you have people writing chat messages on platforms that were written in AI, dissing AI. They're literally using AI to even tell me not to use AI. It's like levels of stupid beyond. Like if you're so bothered with AI, get off your phone, get off your apps, get off your games because they're all programmed with AI. You can go sit in the woods and play with a stick. Um, all games I like were human coded. Good. You better not like anything that was made in the past 5 years. Okay. And I promise you this too. The ones that say they're not using AI, they're using AI. Because every time you Google something, you're using AI. And there ain't no programmer that don't Google stuff. Hilarious. They do consume extra tokens, you're right. And the please one I really don't need. It's just a habit of talking, you know. And I'm not like trying to optimize. Like it's not. There aren't so few tokens that like I'm trying to optimize down to the word, right? But and I'll see if I can pull up the article. Yeah, so like here's this live science article. Being mean to Chat GTP increases its accuracy. So I think what happens is like the way those things are weighted, they want to like, you know, get a positive result. So like if you're cursing at it, then it's gonna work harder. Yeah, that's yeah, some I mean, for some things AI does suck and it does hallucinate and stuff. That's why like every time I type a chat message in here, I don't instantly get a great answer. Like sometimes that's why, you know, whoever as a non-developer isn't going to get great results out of this because they don't know how to do it and they can't like educate the AI well enough to do it. Um, so this is thinking about that but about uh and oh yeah, I think Tails was done, wasn't it? Okay, so I'm expecting this not to work because the chances of it getting everything right on first attempt seems debatable. My guess would be this throws an error when we launch. That would be my guess, or shortly after we launch. Too funny. Okay, Ruby Dung. Well, you are talking to 90% of game developers as we've gone over. Boom. 90% already using AI. And on top of that, you're talking about every software engineer. 90% of them. Yeah, that Windows bullshit, you're right. Windows 10 does suck. Or Windows 11 does suck. That's why I'm on Windows 10. Like, you have to write good code. You have to write decent shit. Like, if you write shit applications, you're writing shit applications. Okay? It doesn't it doesn't matter the tool. If you write good code, it's good code. And you think Microsoft, like, they're fucking idiots there. Like, what do you expect from them? They were idiots before AI. They've been idiots after AI. Do you remember Windows Vista? Like, you think that's... Yeah, all right. Yeah, yes, Microsoft is doing some dumb stuff with AI. What do you want me to say? I'm doing cool shit. Okay. And can you ask AI to give you a girlfriend? See, that's the problem with you guys is you're all like, oh, I'm gonna have some dumbass, I don't know, all this, like, you're all thinking of like the worst freaking use cases. It's like you have like people have no agency or control over themselves. I'm about to ban a couple of you guys. It's hilarious. Okay. Um what am I doing? Okay, so Amy didn't load. So that's the first problem. All right. I didn't expect that to work first. Oh, you know what? I only asked it for a plan, didn't I? Losing my place. Let's see. It's funny because like all I'm doing is showing how like fast the software engineering profession has changed and how software engineering, like literally thousands and thousands of developers across the nation are developing this way every day now. We started about 6 to 8 months ago, I suppose, and like I'm getting like so shit on like it's like like I don't know, like it's like I'm doing something abnormal or something, or like all you guys aren't already using software that was developed with this shit. Okay. Oh yeah, I only gave it a. Did I? So what? Okay, okay. This is what I was looking for. I had to make a plan to implement Amy. So let's see what it does here. Decide Amy's abilities. Um, just make Amy work like a clone of Sonic for now. Um, see, I'm not sure. I just want to get the player working. I don't want all this BS, you know? All right, I'm gonna ignore all the special moves and hammer stuff. Just make it a clone of Sonic for now and proceed. All right, we'll see how that goes. No, that's not it at all. You just don't pass judgment on. Don't be a thought gatekeeper or a you know, don't when people are trying to like be creative and make stuff, like don't be a gatekeeper to them. Don't be a wet blanket. Don't be a loser pointing your finger at other people. If you don't want to develop with AI, that's great. Like you don't have to, and you could be a great developer, and you could I don't know, as far as getting a job and stuff. That'll be trickier because, people are gonna, they're gonna ask you in interviews, what's your experience with prompt engineering? Have you used AI's infrastructure before? Um, what's your experience with, you know, different AI tools and stuff? And you're not going to be able to answer any of those questions if you're trying to get like a job in the real world, um, programming. But like, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. You might be able to get in on merit alone. Uh, it's kind of like needed, like knowing, like you need to know how to use AI, like you need to know how to program to be a programmer in like software engineering roles. I'm sorry to be the one to have to deliver that news to you, but it's just reality. Yeah. Yeah, because that's hilarious. Yeah. I'm gonna program a bunch of malware to Time Twisted, and it's open source, and so everybody can see the source code, and it's scanned literally by AIs on GitHub to make sure it doesn't have malware in it. Yeah. I can't prompt engineer, but I can make a mean M dash. I don't know what an M dash is, but that sounds cool. So funny. I knew like if I did this, people were gonna get so mad. It's funny. You guys want to come after my Bitcoin stash? You gonna tell me how that's bad? Nope. Is it some kind of like dirty internet slang or something? Or is it like a Sonic move? I don't know. Here, I'll look it up. It's fry gross or something. Or maybe it's a Sonic. What did you call it? It's gonna make for a great clip. Oh, it's just a punctuation mark. Yeah, okay. The long version of the dash. Gotcha, gotcha. Thought you were trying to like, pull one over on my old ass. Like a joke or something. Thanks, Lit. I don't listen to the haters. I never have. Always done my own thing. Um, let AI dictate your whole life. Well, it can help you plan a diet if you need to. See, that's the problem though. Like some people can't like conceptualize just using these as tools versus like the bad stuff. Yeah, but like I actually do use AI for some things like that. After Christmas, I was getting a little heavy, so like came up with a diet plan with AI and follow that every day. Getting kind of ripped now, getting swole or swoller, but that's been really good. Love from Israel. Sorry about your war, man, but hopefully your government stops killing everybody and my government too, because I'm really sick of it. All these freaking wars that my government does. It's like, just stop. But that's near here. There. Hope you stay safe. Scary, scary times. Intel is for, yeah, I'm more like free Palestine, honestly. You can go look at my Twitter page. Like full of F things. And yeah. So sorry. Lit heck ago to nothing personal, but both of our governments are absolute dog shit. Okay, let's see here. It says Amy's now fully implemented. I muted myself. Okay, so that was Amy. She should be working now. But we'll see. Did I win anything, or are you just grifting for the love of it? I don't believe in crypto. Most of them are scams. They're trying to steal your money. What I do believe in, though, is putting money into a place where, you know, I have sovereignty over it. So, like, if you think about like U.S. government, right? Like, okay, you got the U.S. government, you got Bitcoin. Which one of those things is blowing people up, killing people, torturing them, whatever you want to name? Is it Bitcoin or is it the U.S. government? Okay, will you answer that question? All right. Now, if you want to hold money in something that was too loud, just a second. You want to hold money in something that causes the least amount of damage when considering what the US government does. Do you want to hold US dollars or other currencies backed by US dollars? Or do you want to hold something that doesn't do as much damage as the US government? I know my answer. But I will tell you this. It's not any of those Doge coins or Pepe coins or bullshit like that. Bitcoin. And other sovereign metals. Well, where the hell is this dream going? Anyway, let's try Amy again. You gatekeep whatever you want. So do I. Calais, I'm going to do some gatekeeping right now. You've been gatekept. Sayonara. Did not work. Okay, so let's try one more. Then we'll ask it. Tails is back there. That's probably from adding the 2 players, so he's like hanging out there until it's his turn to come in. And I think there might actually be a bug here too. I'll have to fix that. But anyway, what I was trying to do was get, what's her name? Okay, so let's ask this. How do I get Amy in game? Um, it's still starting with Sonic as the current playable character. And you make the game default to Amy and I think I misspelled that, but don't matter. Boom. Okay. I thought I wrote that in the other one for a second. Okay. Um, why am I using Mania sprites? Number one, no, I didn't ask the developers. Number two, I never asked Sega for any of the assets I've ever used in my flippin' life, and I don't think anybody in the fan game community ever has. So, yeah, whatever. And I might even switch the Amy sprite. But this will at least get us, there. You guys are hilarious. The things you get upset about. Oh my gosh. Y'all must have like the worst flipping lives ever. Oh my gosh. Is he using Amy? Did he use the right tool to make his game? I'm mad about it. The Amy assets are fan made. They're not fan made if a fan got paid by Sega to make them. Jesus. Oh my god. Hilarious. Oh, you're saying that the Amy sprites from that I'm using right now aren't actually the Mania sprites? Is that what you're telling me? Because if they are fan made, then yeah, you normally I'd ask for permissions for that, and I can either use a different sprite or ask for permission. If they're using Mania, I don't give a shit. Mania is a professional release Sonic game. Oh yeah, because Amy's not in Mania. Okay, well, okay. So so I'll use these for now, just for this stream and stuff, but we won't like release anything with them, and then we'll figure out the situation. Because I just thought, because like, well, as long as they're Edge's sprite, like, did Edge make this sprite? Because I got permission from Edge, like the person who made this ROM hack to put it in the game. I don't know who made the sprite though, but I ain't trying to like steal anybody's work. But I also don't care if it was like a Mania sprite or I guess she's not in Mania, but like an Origin sprite or something. I don't care. Yeah, exactly. Like she wasn't even in Mania. Like I've played Mania twice, so I don't know what I'm talking about there. Yeah, so I'll just use this. So like as long as it's the one that Edge made, it should be fine, unless Edge borrowed that sprite from somewhere else, in which case I'll just use a different one. But for right, I'm not going to worry about that this very minute because like I'm not planning on releasing it right now. So yeah. So we'll try it out and we'll see how it works, and maybe we'll use it if the person who made it's cool with it, and if not, we'll just find something else, or I'll make something. No biggie. But yeah, like thanks for pointing that out. Didn't mean to like give you a bad time. I thought you were saying that like I couldn't use Mania sprites, which in hindsight doesn't make any sense because she's not in there. But I guess it would have made sense if it was Origins, right? Because I think she's in there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she is. I just haven't really played her or Origins at all, except for like 30 minutes. That's cool, Alex. I read what you said in the chat. I I don't know what to make of it. I just don't like killing. Oh my god. I probably should have read that a little closer. Getting distracted by the chat. Okay, so let's see. What was I? The save system is overrated. Okay, well that's fine. That makes perfect sense actually. Why the save system would override? Of course, the save system would override. But I guess I was thinking it would like put more of a hack. So maybe if I select this, I think it. I might have to just have it add her to the screen. Can you just add a new Amy option to the save screens? Now that we got through all that other stuff, it should be fine to add this little piece. Over bald. Actually, not very bald for my age. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm 37 years old. It happens. How long have we been going here? Almost 2 hours. I'll probably stop here soon. I was hoping to get this Amy done. At some point, I'm gonna start shaving my head totally bald. Next couple of years, probably. That's my plan, anyway. It's just faster. Like, that's why everybody's using it. And like, the question was, why is AI so good? It's just faster. That's all. I think that's why everybody's using it. Um, coding isn't a coding's a coding is not something you do for the sake of coding. Really, it's more for like the end software. So I guess finding new ways to do it that are faster, people are going to use them. Why don't we all code in zeros and ones anymore? It's like they make programming languages so they get easier, and then the AI is basically the next layer above programming languages. Nice. I got gray hairs. Got a great beard. Can you ask ChatGTP why your father doesn't? Oh my god. I love it. You probably do. No 64.5 or whatever. I hope you are a really good coder. Wish you to be the best coder you can possibly be. Alrighty. So this should be creating a Amy. That's funny, like, cause like I'm not prompting for one thing. I'm like the kind of code art. These things they're prompted like there's like so much code being written for one thing. Yeah. Just one. Okay. So I think this is done now. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Good times. Gotta weed out all the haters. Good times. All right, let's see here. Can I select Amy? No, still no Amy, but let's see here. Maybe. Oh, it's being real slow. Okay. Try one. Didn't work. I'm double checking here. Have to look at the code a little bit closer after this one. Should be about 90% of the way there, I'd imagine, but see, now when I press Sonic, he's got like 2 positions, it seems like. Or maybe this is, and it just didn't connect the sprites with the player. This player. See, it's a weird player. See, the character name down there is all weird and stuff, so it's like a half implemented Amy kind of. So it looks like Amy is the second player sprite or a player slot now on the well, let me look at this a little closer. Let's see. It's been a while since I looked at this code. Chars count, so did it add a, where did it add that chars count? Okay. So it had this, okay, so this is a macro, I guess, and it's in this, and it's got, made that 4 instead of 3. Good. Um, save screen. Looks like Amy is the second player. I should say character on the save screen. Video cut off. Whoops. Yeah, so sorry about that. So Amy was like sort of in game, like it added a new character and it added but it was still Sonic. So I'm trying to like sorry for the cutoff there. I'm trying to get it to understand that it needs to like connect the 2 features between the Amy sprite and what it did there and the other. But you can see here, like it changed this character macro from 3 to 4. And it added like this ending Amy sprite stuff that we need. So, like this is all stuff you'd have to manually find and do in a big project. Okay. And then it added all these Amy's, right? So you'd have to like manually, type all this out. Let's see here. But she's still not working. So it looks like the Amy is in the second character slot now, and um, but she's still using Sonic's sprite. Can you? Yeah, can you fix that? And we'll see what it does with that. All right. Not for me, not really, honestly. It takes me a long time to code manually. I'm like, I'm an average coder. So let me point out to you. I didn't know where this code was. I would have had to add this manually. I would have had to figure out where this code goes, add all these things, rename. Okay, so look, this is the problem right here. It's still using the Sonic sprite. So all I got to do. So I would have had to find that and all that other stuff. And yeah, that would have taken me a lot of time. As I said, we're 2 hours in. I've fixed three bugs, two bugs, and we've investigated another issue, and now we're adding Amy. Like, I can't fix 3 bugs in an hour. Maybe you can, or 2 bugs in an hour even. I'm like maybe 1 bug every couple hours kind of a guy, developer, at least for a lot of complicated things. I mean, I'm not saying like one line changes, of course, but bug fixing takes hours. Okay. Let's just fix this manually real quick. So if I wanted to add Amy, I would have had to come into the code, figure out all these areas where she was referenced. Then I had to run the game. I basically would have had to do what the AI did. I just would have had to like search through the code a bunch manually, to find all these locations. And then I would have to run the game, and it would probably break a couple times. Yeah, to add a new character, that would probably take me like 2 or 3 hours, and we're 2 hours into this stream, and it's like, um, I've already added a bunch of new code to 2 different games, no less. I'm working on 2 games at once, remember. So yeah, if you can code 2 games at once and find every file you need instantly and know all your code like the back of your hand, maybe you are faster than AI. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with coding by hand. There's nothing wrong with coding by AI either. You can't even code by AI unless you know how to code by hand. You literally have to code by hand to know how to code with AI. Okay. So we'll go ahead and run this. What AI chatbot? I'm not going to tell you my wife's name. No AI chatbot. But if I was married to a chatbot, it would have to be Opus or Claude. Or Opus or Sonnet. My wife, Claude. Okay, there's still video on the screen, right? Okay, so we got an error. There's no Amy idle. Okay, so it doesn't look like it did this stuff. Which I wouldn't have known to do at the top of my head either. But those are oh yeah, I forgot how this works. I wonder if it can do that. So I'm going to tell it how these are timelines. So like right now, I need to go in, copy all these timelines, change all their names. So I'd have to do a bunch of UI editing for this, like in GameMaker. I'm going to see if I can get it to do this. So we need a bunch of new timelines for the Amy sprite. They should match Sonic's exactly. Can you make all the needed timelines? And I'll give it some instead of Sonic. Uh, or, instead of. Okay, we'll see what that gets said. Rose line. He isn't married. Okay. Hilarious. Yeah, definitely. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. The hairline. No, yeah. Just going to make fun of my hair. Okay. I'm not. Yeah, I might ban your ass too, honestly. You're going to be mean. All right, let's see here. I was going bald long before AI. Trying to write a bunch of these. I'll let it go. I'll let it do its thing. Should get back to no more robots now, but I'm getting little tired of programming now, or sitting here watching a program, whatever you want to call it. More so streaming, I guess is what I should say. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the day, more than likely. What? Hey, that's a funny looking character. Yeah, I'm definitely that. Just kidding. Ah, we'll see if it does. I've never tried. This is an interesting experiment because I've never tried to make it write timelines for GameMaker. My beagles are barking. I pray you guys probably can't hear them, but they're barking. But my wife's out there, so it should be all right. I've seen a lot of macros with garbage data on your screen. Nice. Yeah, you'll have to go back and scroll back if you want to be offended by my defense of developing with AI, because I'm don't really feel like repeating it. But I probably said some things that would really upset you if you scroll back, so you should probably do that. So funny, people. Things they get used to get upset about. Okay, let's see. I don't know what it's doing. Like a bunch of BS. But I'm curious, so I'm gonna let it keep going. Let's. Okay, now the AI is being done. You don't need to get content that way. The files are in the fucking workspace. Just read them normally and make new ones for Amy. Let's see what that gets us. The Amy sprite, are you saying doesn't look right? I mean, this is just a prototype, though. We can always tweak it. You guys want to learn how to develop Java APIs while we're waiting for this? Or web apps? Or authentication systems? Know the macro? Yeah, that's. I mean, there's some like they're trying to do bad things, like Oracle, Microsoft, all those companies. Like, here's what they want to do. I'll tell you exactly what they want to do. Okay, they want to take an AI and they want to put it under the internet. They want a global AI that is under the internet, so that like every time you type a search in Google or click on a link or send a message to your buddy in a chat message or in a chat program, they want this like layer of the internet under the internet to it to all be scanned through this AI. And that, my friends, is very scary because what they'll do is start using that to jail people and all kinds of stuff for frivolous offenses and stuff. And um and who knows what that'll lead to, like pre-crime and all kinds of like dystopia type stuff. That is like you guys should be worrying about that stuff. You shouldn't be in here like, you know, getting angry at me because I'm making video games. Like, right? Like, that is the scary AI. And AI can be scary. But, you know, space travel and shooting rockets off are the same thing, more or less, right? Like, it's not about, like, I'm not even developing AI, right? I'm just using the tools as they exist. I'm not developing a platform to spy on y'all. I'm not developing any kind of nefarious software. Um, that's what you should be worried about with AI, not some guy sitting at his computer trying to have fun, make video games. Are you talking about those like macros that I keep accepting? I'm not sure what you mean when you say macros. Oh, you're talking. Oh, you're actually talking about the GameMaker macros. I think those are the replacement for globals. But yeah, that's like I don't know GameMaker that well. Used to, but not anymore. Changed a lot, you know. Copilot has been working. Okay, I don't know that this is gonna work. May have to do this part. I think we hit our limit with AI there. I don't think it could quite understand GameMaker's timelines as a concept, and it was just spinning its wheels. So now I have to do it. And we'll just copy all Sonics in there. Um, 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 um. Yeah, now we're going slower, but where's the paste? Can I copy when I have that ability? Duplicate. So I can duplicate. It's crashing on me now. Yeah, macros are the new globals. Okay. Weird macros are like some sort of save file obfuscation. Oh, you mean are you? Yes, there are weird macros for save state um, obfuscation. That is correct. Because the save files are just like uh, key value pairs, but I scrambled the names so you can't tell what they are. Anyway, did this clone? Okay, it did. It was like crashing for a second. Ah, it's annoying. It would have been so much better if they had handled this. 'Cause I could have been doing other things while it was doing that, like talking to the chat. And I know. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now we gotta rename all these. Oh my god. It's manual work. Unbelievable. Oh, see, I have to press the button there. Oh, and I have to click there. Oh my god. Now I have to press these 4 buttons. Oh, three. But if it see like that's the one thing, like some of these like this is behaving pretty good for GameMaker, but like these AIs they actually work better for like more professional, I guess I'll say, software suites, like developing in Java or to an extent Godot because it's an open source project. So they were able to train on its code base and everything. Most of these AI models, I would assume. Whereas with GameMaker Studio, you don't get access to its code base. Or I guess it's not called a GameMaker Studio anymore, but you know what I mean. Oh, so oh my god. Why would I want to use AI? It's so fun. Maybe I could write a macro for this, but at this point I'll just oh. See how fulfilling this is when you don't use AI? It's just magic. Oh, why do I keep doing that? It's like selects the whole thing and then I forget. All right. I will start using F2. That'll be a little bit quicker. F2. Ah, I gotta press. Okay. It's F2 back. Then you press there. Mm, why not just add Amy manually? It'd be easy. Uh, Any day now. Amy. What's the word? Amy. Oh my God. See, like in most other softwares, it would have just been able to do this manually, but like I said, GameMaker, it's not an open source, so it's probably not as clear on how it works. Um, and then I would have gotten this all done. If I was using Godot, I would have never had to do this. And then I wouldn't have had to rename all those files in the code thing either. And so all of that would have been done automatically, in addition to everything else that's been done automatically. But we'll take what we can get with GameMaker. And its own programming language. Gonna end this pretty soon. My goal is to get Amy running in game, not with any special moves or anything, just character in there, and then we'll probably call it. I just move my hand like this. Hindsight. I mean, the other thing is, I wouldn't normally design a animation system to use timelines like this. I would put it in code, and then it wouldn't be a problem. But I didn't actually write the engine for Time Twisted. Just the one for No More Robots. Okay. I was getting tired of doing it at the top, so I switched to the bottom. Uh, so and we'll be able to just replace those Amy sprites since I guess they're fan made, and probably like the person that made them now will be like, "Oh, I hate AI. I'm not letting him use my sprites." I think that's a distinct possibility. Uh, well, this was fun, wasn't it? Renaming all these files. Good thing I earlier at least I got those other ones to rename, so I didn't have to like go through all those Amy sprites, right? Could have written a bash script to do it too, but then I'd have to write that. Okay. So there we go. And I don't even think that's all we have to do. Maybe it is. Uh now I have to go. All right. Well, at least I got it working here, so I can just copy it over. That part I could have done with AI. Okay, so this is 3D turn. So I need 3D turn. Just copy them. Did it save? Okay. These UIs. Now we need boarding. Fine, it's just gonna be easier if I just type. Amy snowboarding doesn't exist. Okay, we'll leave that one Sonic then. There may be a few of them, in which case we'll have to go back and fix those. Okay. That work right? That I'm confused. Acting like that Amy sprite isn't there. I got it. Let's see here. In the scene objects. Hmm. Oh, when I added it, I didn't add them as. Oh, I forgot I had to add them as sprites, and they all have to have their like. Oh, this is annoying. I'm probably not going to do all this, but what we can do is make the idle work just to prove that Amy is indeed functional. So we've got one of these sprites as Amy Idle 0. I'm going to rename it. And then I'm going to call this stream, I think. But just to finish showing you guys. So yeah, if you think about it, most of the mistakes that were made, like adding these here, these are not AI mistakes. These are Bryce mistakes because I don't remember how to add new characters to this game. But let me rename this one more time so I can get the copy. Like Amy Idle is right. Amy Idle. So just find the sprite. I'll have to add that some other time. I'll have to finish adding her some other time. But so like yeah, like you would have sprite Amy Idle there. And then that should be called let me check the other positions just to be sure. Yeah, they should just all be indexes. Actually the indexes are gonna be wrong too. I'll just delete everything. I'll have to re-add this later, but that way. So snafu. Okay. But now I should be able to. Now I should be able to see her, at least her idle sprite. All right. Let me read the chat a little bit because I've been focusing. I'm in the 90%. Yeah. Um. Okay. Get rid of you, Mr. Hater. Okay. What did happen here? Amy sprint. Does Amy not have a sprint? Amy sprint. That should work. So it should be on this DS map here. Amy Sprite. Man, I'm getting Amy. Starting to lose my mind because I'm getting hungry. Why? Why didn't I like that? It says variable not set before read. Animate. What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, maybe. Oh, I didn't. I don't think I saved it. So, it's doing that. Fix it. Has to reload. We'll see. Oh, I, I prefer coding with AI. I don't want to code without AI. I mean, that's why I'm not coding without it. And plus, I haven't really coded much in that game in like 7 years. I don't remember code from 7 years ago. Okay. That, yeah, all it was is that needed saved. I was like, what is this error? Like, there's nothing appearing wrong here. Let's see if she shows up. It'll only be her idol. Yeah, the her offset is wrong too. The offset of the sprite, it should be centered, I think, and it's like, so it's showing at the bottom there. Because her, like I said, and if I run it, it'll be Sonic again. But at least we got the we basically got all the boilerplate code, like all the infrastructure code there to add another character. So that's cool. Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would be able to edit the animation or the timeline files itself, but that appears to be a little bit beyond its capability, or I might have to do something to like train it how to use those, and then in the future it would be able to. But I think I'll call it there. If you enjoyed this stream, I'm glad. I hope you learned something. If all you learned is you don't want to use AI, that's okay too. Um, I had fun, and it was good to like, you know, get it all out there, being like, hey, me and 90% of the coders are developing with AI. So if you don't like it, I guess you should uninstall all the software you use that was made in the past 5 years and uh, audit your friends list. Wouldn't this take shorter without AI? Not for me, because I didn't know how to do it. So, okay, let's think. It's been 2.5 hours. Half of that, or at least half an hour of that, was um, me messing with the stream and stuff. So in 2 hours, we set up Amy. We fixed a bug with the framing on my No More Robots game. We fixed a bug with Tails drowning. We made sure Tails could work with the gamepad support. We fixed the background parallax scrolling on my No More Robots games. So in about 2.5 hours, we fixed 4 or 5 different bugs in 2 different games. If you don't think that's impressive, I mean, I guess you're just you must be a real genius. So and if that's the case, that's fun. It's awesome for you. Congratulations. Not off the top of my head, no. The Valley. When's the last time I added a character to Time Twisted? I don't know, 15 years ago, 14 years ago. Yeah, I don't remember. Jesus. You have no control over your game if you use AI. That's bull. I have complete control over the source code. I can edit the source code. I can refactor. I can use AI even to refactor the source code and make it even better. I've been programming for 20 years. The AI isn't going to write code I can't understand. Yeah, yeah, sure. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a software engineer. I develop code every day for the past 20 years. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to get rid of you because you're just a pain in the ass and you have nothing productive or valuable to say. Kiss my ass. So yeah, 5 bugs in about 2 hours. Pretty happy about that. It was a good session. Was able to teach people up front how to use Copilot, how to use the Copilot instructions, different tools you can use with game, or different how you can use VS Code, a actual professional scripting tool with GameMaker or Godot. And yeah, I think I consider this pretty successful. Yeah, to be fair, like Alex is saying, he touched the code base 4 years ago, and he doesn't know how to add characters. Like, I'm glad, believe if you have like you're just such a brilliant freaking human being that you can remember code you wrote 15 years ago. You know you can never finish fan game, but hey, who's counting, right? Good luck. Anyway, for all you who did enjoy it, who got something out of that, that's who this stream was for. Appreciate you being here, and take care.